I wanted to share a story of something that happened to me with one of my daughters. A while back, she was competing in a voice competition. She's an opera singer. And she became very sick. She got the flu, and it was terrible. And the topic just came up because we were just talking about the flu shot, and I thought it would be cool to share it with you. But anyway, she caught the flu, terrible flu. It lingered. The flu lingered, I want to say about a week, maybe more than a week. It was terrible. I wasn't near her, unfortunately. However, we talked on the phone every day, and a few days in, I told her and I said, "Hey, honey, tell me the truth. Were you afraid of that competition? Because it was a very, very big competition." And she's like, scared. She mustered the energy to just, it almost like a switch was flipped. And she's like, scared of losing. She's like, those people are lucky that I didn't show up and compete with them because they would have lost. And we laughed so hard, but we laughed not because she was arrogant. I mean, somebody might take it as arrogance, but it's not. And I completely understood what she meant when she said that. The reason why we laughed is because if it were somebody else in our conversation that didn't know us and didn't know who she was as a person, they wouldn't have understood it. So we laughed. We still laugh till today about that. And the reason why she was 100% sure that she was going to win that competition is because she was prepared. There was no wiggle room for failing, no wiggle room for losing. And believe it or not, in life, and when you have to tackle situations, you shouldn't give yourself wiggle room to fail. You shouldn't. You should go into things with that mentality. The mentality of, I'm not going to fail. I'm not. I'll never forget my pumpkin thing, speech class. I think it was my first or second year in college. You remember the famous speech class? I went into that class, and I'll tell you what the incentive was. This was a midterm. The midterm was that we had to present something. The incentive was that if the teacher was going to pick his favorite speech that day on exam day, after you presented, he was going to give the announcement, and the prize was going to be that you didn't have to worry about the rest of the semester's grade because you were going to get an A. And I thought that was cool. And I said, I'm going to bust my butt. I'm going to get an A. I'm going to be the favorite presenter in the class. And guess what? I was. And you know what I presented? Carving a pumpkin. And I'll tell you this, back then, there was no Pinterest and YouTube. No, no, you didn't have access to all of that. I aced it. I didn't have to worry about my grade the rest of the semester, and it was smooth sailing. And with my daughter's story, we always remember it because I tell her, honey, I know exactly how much it hurt you to not be able to compete. And I know that you would have won, not because you're my daughter and I favor you, because you're always prepared. Always. This child busts her chops. And I was like, it's sad that happened, but it taught her a lesson to always be prepared. And that's what I wanted to encourage you all. Be prepared when you're going to go into something. And it's not arrogance. Do you see what I'm saying? That is not what you call arrogance. Arrogance is something completely different. Arrogance is being concerned about what others are going to do. No, you go into something so prepared that you're not even thinking about who's on your left and who's on your right. You're focused. And that's how you win things. And that's how you fly and soar like an eagle.